Welcome to Afghan News. Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh on a visit to Afghanistan Thursday said India has strongly supported a plan by Kabul to reconcile with Taliban-led insurgents. New Delhi's first public backing of the plan. The trip is Singh's first visit to Afghanistan since 2005 and comes just over a week after Bin Laden was killed by U.S. Special Forces in Pakistan. New Delhi has feared attempts to reach out to the insurgents would give rival Pakistan, which holds influence over the military integrators and the Afghan peace process, and might ultimately lead to a Taliban takeover when Western forces leave. India is nervous about Washington's plans to start withdrawing troops from July and give security responsibility to Afghans in parts of the country. The death of Bin Laden has added to India's fears of swift U.S. disengagement. India is Afghanistan's biggest regional aid donor and sixth largest overall, which has pledged $1.3 billion of projects, from building a parliament on a highway to Iran, to establish what officials say New Delhi like to term soft power. Singh announced Thursday India would donate a further $500 million to be spent on development projects in Afghanistan. A gun battle between Taliban militants and employees of two private security firms left 7 militants dead and 8 employees of the companies injured in Wardak province on Thursday. A spokesman for provincial administration said Shahidullah Shah has said that the conflict happened in Saidabad district in the wee hours on Thursday when Taliban rebels attacked 2 private security firms, namely Qudrat and Watan Risk, and guards of the companies returned fire. As a result, 7 insurgents were killed. Meanwhile, 8 employees of the companies were injured, and the firefight lasted for nearly 2 hours, he said. Both security firms provide security to logistic convoys of NATO-led international security stance force in different provinces of the country. Elsewhere, a clash between Pakistani tribesmen and Afghan National Army soldiers claimed 5 lives at the Pakistani-Afghan border. 3 Pakistani tribesmen and 2 Afghan soldiers died in the clash in Lora Mandi area. Twin bomb blasts targeting a paramilitary training center in northwest Pakistan have killed at least 73 people, mostly paramilitary personnel, and wounded at least 100 others, police officials say. A police official said Friday's attack in Charsada district appeared to be the work of 2 suicide bombers, though there was a possibility of the second bomb being planted. Ehsan Ali Saleh, spokesman for the Pakistani Taliban, has claimed responsibility for the attack, terming it the first revenge for the killing of Osama bin Laden, the Al-Qaeda leader who was killed by U.S. forces in Abbottabad on May 2nd. The bombers attacked the frontier constabulary fort at Shab Qadr early in the morning, attacking the men as they exited the fort to board buses and coaches. The attackers were riding motorbikes, with the first bomber striking at about 5:55 a.m. local time, and the second explosion taking place about 8 minutes later. Nisar Khan Marwad, the district police chief for Charsada, said that 5 of the dead were civilians. A petrol bomb set off on Friday by a disgruntled former employee at a rural bank in a Tibetan region of northwestern China's Gansu province caused 39 injuries, the local government said. 6 people were seriously wounded in the blast at the Tianzhu County Rural Credit United cooperative in the city of Wai in Tianzhu County, which a witness called a homemade gasoline bomb. The Tianzhu government said that Yang Xianwen, a Han Chinese fired from his job at the bank last month after being accused of embezzlement, has thrown a bottle filled with gasoline into a meeting room, setting it ablaze. Yang, who committed arson in the name of revenge, fled the scene, and police were urgently looking for him, it added. Bomb attacks are rare in China, although disgruntled residents have set off explosions in buses and buildings in the past to complain about local grievances. And that the situation in the Middle East is on a knife edge, with repressive governments fighting to regain control. Amnesty International, the global rights body, has said dictators in the Arab world could crush uprisings against their Iron First State rule using the same social media that have been credited with boosting the revolts. Amnesty warned in a new report on Friday. It praised the role of websites such as Twitter and Facebook in fomenting the biggest revolt against oppressive regimes since the end of the Cold War. But the rights group cautioned that social networking sites, which had helped cyber activists outmaneuvered the authorities, and successful uprisings in Tunisia and Egypt were a double-edged sword. The uprising in the Arab world demanding democratic change has brought an unprecedented opportunity for an improvement in human rights. The annual report on the state of the world's human rights said repressive governments such as those of Azerbaijan, China and Iran were trying to preempt any similar revolutions in their countries, it said. Amnesty International said companies that provide internet access, mobile phone communications and social networking sites must respect human rights and not become the pawns of repressive governments that wanted to spy on their people. Amnesty also drew a link between the protests in the Arab world and the release by internet site WikiLeaks of thousands of secret US diplomatic documents. And that's all for now. Stay with the news in 30 minutes.